dear viewer. Welcome to another video, and I hope you're all keeping positive and testing negative. Today we have a very special treat with a new car. Well, not a new car, sorry. It's a car that's not been on the channel before. My Peugeot. Well out of due. Well, the MOT is out of. Well, it's ran out, hasn't it? And it needs a new MOT. And before I do that, I need to change the rear brakes. I also need to put a camera in focus. There we go. I've had this car since new, and I've done all of them, all but 15 miles of that. Oh. And just like Rangers Football Club, it's dead. Gonna have to use the Land Cruiser to bump start it or jump start it.
Yes, that's a new addition to my fleet, a dream car of mine, but that's for another video. Be sure to subscribe to see it.
Right. Is it working?
Bluetooth. Waiting for connection.
That's what's waiting for connection on that. Been waiting a long time. Need to know where I put my jump leads now. All in. I'll try it a second time. Right in gear. Well, that didn't happen before. Need to let it charge up a bit. I have no idea what's going on here, but this thing does not want to start. Plan B, maybe. I've got an old battery charger there. I think I'm just going to plug that in and see what happens. And I want to throw away those jump leads. I knew there was a reason why they were out. I knew it, but my good ones are in my Corolla and I haven't got that. I don't know why I did that, because I need to move it in a minute when my Peugeot kicks into life. There we are. It's old as the hills. Connected. And maybe the battery's just knackered. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. And got battery there. That was from the RAV4, was it? No, the RAV4 was in the thing. I don't think I'll be doing anything with this tonight. Bollocks. That's not good.
It's a problem because this car was just meant to go and get an MOT, so I could drive it to where I have my Corolla stored, and then for me to get the Corolla, get that an MOT, and then for me to drive the Corolla to Dusseldorf. That couldn't happen now, as the little bit of budget I had for the Corolla had to be spent on my 107.
Shall we try this again?
Near enough. Okay, and battery's in. Well, not tied down. Lights are on. It's funny that the microphone makes the car sound a lot louder than it actually is. It's not whisper quiet, of course, but it's not an old tractor either, like this microphone is making it out to be. Well, so it's quite successful. I'm already £50 into a job I thought I didn't have to pay any money to do. Right then, I left the engine running. I'm not going to what do you call it, I've also written, yeah, right, I left the engine running because it hasn't been run for a while. I've chopped the wheels in the wrong way, so I need to move the brick, but I'm only going to lift the one side of the car up at a time, so all 3 wheels will be done, as in chopped. Unfortunately, I still have locking nuts on the rear wheels. I need to change, so I need to go to a scrapyard and get another bolt to change that, because they're useless. Though whatever locking nuts that they put on these cars are shite. I've also got an axle stand that's bigger than the car and a jack that weighs more than the car, so I'm just going to do that while I have coffee. The wheel is off, thank God. It's been a while since these were off. Well, the wheels are off, so I might need to get new tyres, but I think this is binding. It might have been binding for a while, which is probably why it was so hard to get off the wheel in the first place. I'm going to have to clean all this up because it's all gunky from the wheel. But yeah, now I've got to deal with these abhorrent bastard things. Hate them. They may not find their way back on. Doesn't really need it anyway, because you've got the wheel going into the hub there, which goes through to the axle behind it, obviously, as you see there. So yeah, we'll see what happens when I get it off. Oh, finally, with the use of a cheap hub puller that I bought when I was doing my Corolla. That's the first time this has come off since I've had the car, and I had this brand new when it had 15 miles on the clock. What do you think? I'm going to inspect that in a bit, but as you can see, not a lot to these. Let's focus. There we go. I'm not going to teach anyone to suck eggs, but basically there's your pads that do the braking. You push against the drum. You know how drum brakes work. I need to read now what to do, because that seems fine. They don't look too bad after 90,000 miles really, although that one, the leading one, seems to warn a lot more than this one. I'm going to inspect the hub anyway, see if that needs replacing. I don't think it does. We'll see anyway. But the only thing I've done right, really, and is buy these. I bought these years ago when I was doing my Corolla, which is about 5 years ago now. And it's because I got a really good deal with Euro Car Prats, and I thought while I'm at getting stuff for the Corolla, my Peugeot will need it at some point. So here we are, 5 years later, and I think no, they're all right. New old stock, let's put it that way. If you see, can you see? So plenty of meat on them. Well, there's plenty of meat on the other ones, but you know how it is. And I got the springs and everything. I think I might tell you now that I've never done this before, but yeah, so you can see there, twice the amount of meat. So yeah, what I'm gonna have to do, I thought that was rust, but it's not. It's just stuff from the manufacturing where they glue it on, I think. I need to work out how to put these together. I've never done fitted brake shoes in my life. I've never had to. I've never had a car long enough. Never driven a car enough in order to do it. But I think the first thing I need to do is take a photo of this, and so I don't get lost, which means I can't film at the same time. For this job, apparently, you need thin nose pliers, and in my box of tools, they are the only pliers that I don't have. Fabulous start. Thought for a moment there that I'd have to go, after doing so well with having tools to do this job, I thought I'd have pliers. There we go. So first thing apparently is to twist them. Okay. That's effort. Oh, wait, I've already dropped a bit. Cool. So, not teaching to suck eggs, but I've never had to do this before, so this is probably for my own benefit. In there, if you can imagine
the pin was horizontal, which is holding it in. And you had to like manhandle it so then the pin would. I mean, still pin here, slide out of there, and do the same on the other side. Fun. There we go. Cool. That's that done. So now the next thing, I'm going to move the shoe from the moment. Bloody hell. And that's what we didn't want to have happen. I think we're keeping the springs anyway. And then that should just... Oh! What am I doing? There we go. Okay. There we go. It all off. I didn't do that good of a job of cleaning this, and I should have done. Coffee. Cool. Right then. So that's all there is to it. Got an adjuster here. That's going. I'm gonna have to take. Yeah. So I've got this. Here's the handbrake adjuster. This needs to go back on the car somehow. So I'm just going to do this off camera. Okay, so I applied a little bit of copper, what is it? Copper grease to the mating surfaces, apparently. Now I need to remember how all this all goes back together. So, yeah. I can't remember how it goes back together. Yeah. Also gone to the trouble of like putting the new bits on. Starting with whoopsie daisy, these pins. So these pins just slide out. There you go. 11 years of crud. Should really tell a little story about this car and how I came to get it. Imagine, if you will, the year 2010. I passed my driving test when I was in 2009, and I was bought for my first car a lovely Peugeot 306, 1.9 turbo diesel. And my old man drove it the one day. Only had it 6 months, and he reckoned the car was knackered. The engine was bust or whatever, and he said they needed a new car. So we go out and get a new car. And I ended up with a Honda Civic 1.4S, red one. Nice looking one. It's like what the Rover used for the 445. It's still the best handling, was the best handling car I had until they got the Corolla. Anyway, had that for 6 months, and that was a bag of shite. My old man weren't well at the time, so in his mind, he wanted to be sure that I was in a good car, and he thought the Honda was a better car than the Peugeot. And I was working in Nuneaton at the time, so I was from Birmingham and going into Nuneaton doing low miles, and I thought, I'm earning good money for the time, like all, what, how old would I have been in 2010? 23-year-olds. And this is around the time of the scrappage scheme, and let me just move the, I've done all of them, sorry. You know, the scrappage scheme was in full swing. And yeah, so the scrappage scheme was in full swing, and then I thought, I got this car, it's a bag of crap, bag of bollocks, whatever. The lovely man in the dealership will give me two grand for my knackered Honda. It needed a lot of work. I think it needed about two grand's worth of work doing on it, and this was before I was even interested in doing anything on cars. So I thought the absolute best thing I could do was buy a new car from Peugeot, and buy a new car from Peugeot and be done with it. I had that just had fuel thing going on. It cost me £250 a month for 3 years. Yeah, for 3 years. I think that's the one. One moment. Sorry, I had to go away and look at what I was doing. But yeah, I think that's it. There's no replacement for this. Probably because it's part of the adjuster, but yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, fuck. Sorry, I had to go and look at the mess I made. But yeah, so as I was saying, with that Honda, they were offering 2 grand part exchange and scrappage, and I could get the insurance, the tax and everything through Peugeot for £250 a month. I thought that was a no-brainer. You know, and I think in some respects it was, but the issue is then a few months later you get made redundant, and you know, you've got to things got difficult, really, unfortunately. Didn't help at the time that my old man was the breadwinner of the house, and he had at this point he had a heart attack, so he was off work as a builder. And then you know, the I decided I'm going to go freelance, which I don't regret even though, to be honest. And then this job came up on Gumtree, as do all the good things apparently. Hold on. There we go. But that don't look right. Job comes up on Gumtree, and I'll go for it. Really, the only problem was it was in London, and I didn't live in London. So, you know, looking back on it now, I wouldn't say I was naive. I was eager, but at the same time, I should have just really thought better about it, because there was a job that came up as well. That I could have done, probably should have done, but I said no, don't want it, because I just accepted the contract for London. Anyway, what started kicking off then is that the London riots kick off while I was down there. So, like, you know, my mum and my dad, you know, being proper Irish country people, were like, are you alright? Are you safe? Of course I was safe, I was fine. But then I come back, and because I was living in digs, which is a story in itself actually. I'm gonna move the camera while you see what. There we go. I'm living in digs in High Barnet, and it was weird. It was an old Kiwi woman from New Zealand and her husband. How the freak did I do this before? How did I get there? There. Nope. What the stuck. Shit. Jammed it. And hopefully it's not in the right fucking place. Oh, start again. Anyway. Yeah, so basically it was an old key. I say old, she was up there. She's in the 60s, I would say. Doesn't matter anyway, because turn out, Jesus Christ, I never known someone moan, and I've known a lot of people moan. And basically I'd come in from work, and there we go. I'd come in from work, and
I'd make a bit of dinner because it was a shared kitchen, but and I had my own bathroom, but it was down. No, sorry, I had my own toilet because it was downstairs in this house. But in the room, there was like a shower in the corner, not like an ensuite. Literally, like the bed was there next to it, the sink and the shower. So it was London. Anyway, the one. I'd come in and she'd be like, "Oh, how was your day?" And it was kind of nice to begin with. It was someone taking an interest. But then, what? I could have told her that, that my dog had died or something like that. And she's, "Oh, that's awful." But listen to my day, and she'd go on about her neighbours or something like that were neighbours from hell apparently. But you know what? I just realised then that there was a Wetherspoons down the road, and I'd be as well to go there for my dinner. So I'd finish work about 6 actually. I would think, I was thinking about this the other day, but no, such is London. You're not really a member of the human race in London. You tend to be a commodity. But anyway, because of that, I decide I'm not spending my weekend in London with it kicking off with all the riots and everything. I'm going to come back to Birmingham every weekend, so I wouldn't even go into the digs on a Friday. I'd get the tube, I'd get the train to High Barnet, and then I would pack my stuff up, or I'd throw my stuff in the car the night before, so I would then get in the car and drive back up to Birmingham. Anyway, one Saturday, because I was living with my parents, my sister and my mum had gone out shopping, as women tend to do, and I'm just there with my old man, with my dad, and he was there. It's one of these things, looking back on it, should have known really what was coming. But anyway, he says he went to the doctor and because he was coughing a bit. Long and the short of it is that they found a shadow, or he had cancer, lung cancer, and that's why I couldn't get it on. It's in the wrong hole. So he had lung cancer, and at that point he wasn't really sure what to do, because he had known people have cancer, go through all the stages of chemotherapy, and really for cancer that he had, which the irony of me saying this story while I work on brake components was asbestosis, but he wasn't as I said, he was a builder. He remembers how the day he got it, kind of thing, or how he would have got it, because a friend of his that he was with at the time, they were both cutting asbestos pipes. Fucking hell, sorry. Such a fiddly job. Anyway, so when you have cancer like that, for all the advances in treatment and stuff like that there is, prognosis isn't great. It means, you know, you will die, and it's quite a painful sort of death. So what am I doing wrong here? So yeah, he tells me that. That's in my head then, and really the job I was doing was modern slave labour, slavery, whatever you want to call it. So after 3 months, just, you know, had enough of it and came back home, and I ended up getting a job. Ended up getting a job anyway, proper job. Stopped freelancing. It rolls all the way forward to, when was it, 2013. So in between my dad telling me he had cancer, you know, he'd undergone treatment and stuff. Treatment had succeeded in shrinking it. It's starting to rain now, which is annoying. It's cold, that's why I'm sniffing. You know, so you think, as you do, things are getting better, so I decided to have a bit more fun. The wife and I, well, she wasn't the wife at the time, we end up going to Budapest in this little thing, in this car. Try and put a video or something of the few photos, at least, if I can. I've still got them somewhere. There we go. So yeah, we go to Budapest, to London. It was when the Olympics started, because we watched the opening ceremony in a hotel room in Munich, which is quite nice. Come on, yeah. I can't get it in past the fucking. I've got another side to do yet, and this is pain in my hole. Can't take that off. There we are. Let's do it that way. Yeah. Okay. Back in the game. So, yeah, so we go to Budapest, and what is it I usually say? Yeah, we're at the far east as Budapest in 2012, and far west as east as Budapest and west as Oban in Scotland. So this is done. This has seen more. More of the world than most people had, really. And at this point now, we get to 2013. I'm still using this. I'm getting to the end of the just add fuel thing, and I'll be honest with you, I was looking to get rid of it. I was counting the days, because I thought, do you know what, I want something a bit bigger. You know, I'm a big lad. People saying I look like, whenever they see me driving it, it's like Mr. Incredible out of The Incredibles. And I think if you haven't seen the film, I've not seen the film actually, to be honest with you, but I know the scene that they're referring to, and it's when it's when he's in the car in traffic, and the car is about 3 sizes too small for him. Anyway, that's me in this car. Still is, don't care. Anyway, get a phone call then from my mum.
At this point, my dad had been put into a hospital. Oops, sorry, I've just been doing that and I didn't realise. Dad had been put into a hospital. Oh, that wheel cylinder's fucked, isn't it? Shit. That's annoying. I didn't want to have to do anything like that. Balls. That's probably why it's been so difficult to get on, because it's not that side stuck solid. Yeah. Balls. I'll finish up this story anyway. Yeah, so I'll get a phone call anyway, and my old man's had a stroke, and 6 days later he's dead. He died. Sorry. You know, and it was a shock, really. You know, as it would be. But my sister and I were taking it in turns to go and see him, so he wasn't on his own. And the thing was, her car started breaking down a bit, like it was a Peugeot 207, and ironically again the brake was binding. And I just said, like, you know what, if this car just behaves for a time, I'll keep it, I won't get rid of it. And in fairness, like, ever since then he's never wanted any money. It's been fine. It started first time, apart from that time you saw at the beginning of the video. So I've kept it, and ever since then, it's just a funny thing to think of. The car has never let me down, especially in times when it was actually needed. So that's why, unlike the RAV4 and stuff, the fact that it's given me this left-hander on a 1:45 on a Saturday when I need to be going out at 4, I'm alright with it. But yeah, that's the sort of backstory to this car. You know, ever since then, you know, it's always been around. So in between cars, different things, it's always been like the sort of backup, if that makes sense. And then the wife and I moved in together and stuff, and she drives and she had a car, so I said, I'll use this, someone gets to use it. And she did, and she got her own car, so that means then when she got that car in August time, it's been sat at the bottom of the driveway just gathering dust. And I was using it when I was doing the RAV4 to get bits and pieces. It's definitely a car I am not going to get rid of, because why would I? It's a great little car. It's a reliable car. There's a load of memories in it. Although I could have done without that, really. So I'm going to try and get a part now for that. I'll probably end up doing the other side as well, just because it might be as bad. Although the other side wasn't binding, but you know what, do it together, innit? Anyway, I'll speak to you in a little bit. Okay, so back once again. Okay, I'm anyway. See how it's cold. So yeah, as you see, that side is quite stuck solid, and at least if you can see with this, a bit more movement. So I'm just going to clamp off the line there, take that off, throw the new one on. I'm not going to be able to do the other side today because I need to go out, but yeah, wasn't expecting to pay to just silly really, but you know, I suppose 10 years, that's not done too badly.
So the brake pipe was cut onto the cylinder because it's been binding for quite a while, and they ended up rounding the nut off of the brake pipe. I use swear words that Gordon Ramsay himself didn't know existed when I realised this.
It's been 3 weeks. Well, this is the third weekend. Last weekend was a total washout. Weekend before, I can't remember what happened. And in the space of the 3 weeks, diesel's gone up by what, 30 pence a litre? Thank you, Potler. But anyway, yeah, so the problem being, obviously need to change that. The old one has probably been binding for a long time, so it ended up the union with the brake, the hard brake line that goes to the cylinder is cooked. So even with my special tool, round it off. So in today's job, I raided, put that back actually, raided health roads, and I now have to make my own brake line, which is fun. Never done it, and I'm not even sure. Somewhere here I am going to have what I thought was the tool to do it. There we go. Went through a bad phase years ago of buying tools for the sake of buying tools on the off chance that I may one day need them, and today is the first time I've actually needed them. So while it is good to just buy the tools as and when you need them, sometimes it pays to see. No, it's never been open. There we go. Operating instructions. Well, I need to read, and I need to actually work out which of these, what does what, basically. So yeah. Now, you would be mistaken for thinking that is the new one, but it's the old one. I managed to get it off, and it's just as well, because this thing is a bag of shit. Fuck me, what a joke. Alright, so try and do this in one hand. 1 minute. So sit back and relax while I tell you the story of how this thing did this. Yeah. Where do we begin? I'm not going to go through the whole process of it, which I think is fairly obvious. I didn't complete. You would think,
given the freaking state of that. Yeah. So brake pipe tubing, the metric measurement of 3/16 of an inch, and on the pipe itself it's for works out 4.76 mil. Right, now you see here, this thing where you put the pipe in goes from 5/8 of an inch to 5/8 of an inch to half an inch. Yeah. So the idea is you stick the pipe in there, and it holds it so that next bit, this contraption goes under it, goes over it, sorry, pulls down and puts that thing in it. Now obviously, like what was said, they're not the same, right? And there's a reason for that. It's because on here 3/16, yeah, and this clamp is completely tight. So yeah, the bag of bollocks, I think. Total waste of time. Because really the only way I could get even that in it was to use the 5/8, which then meant that you get, can't see it. Oh, so hard to do this one-handed. See? Didn't really make all that good of an impression. I'm going to double check it again, like, just so that I don't make myself look like I'm a total idiot, but follow the instructions. So did that using the pipe. Loosen the wing nuts and the fairing, put the pipe into the corresponding hole. Yeah, corresponding hole, which I did. They threw me a little bit there when I did that. Top of the pipe should be 0.5 mil. Tighten the wing nuts back to lock the pipe in place. Well, that's where it all falls down, isn't it? Because you see, this is tight. See? Not holding anything in place. The only thing that's stopping that pipe from falling through is the fact that I got that it's flared. If I do that, I'm straight out. So it's annoying. So I had another look at this, and I did need to use the pliers on it. However, I have managed to get the pipe off. The pipe is in fairly good condition otherwise. I would reason that the next time this actually needs to be done, that pipe might be a little bit worse for wear. So what I'm going to do now is first remember what I did, which I've forgotten, and the second thing is I'm going to get the new pipe, put this into it, clean it up first, but then put that into it and tying it on the bench so that when it goes onto the car it'll be cushy. Probably not my proudest moment, but given that thing, these injectors and these drinks diesel for fun, and the fact that diesel, as of day recording, and matters, I think diesel is about 171.9 pence a litre in the UK. For context, last week when I filled up the Land Cruiser, it was 145, something like that. For diesel, so like to fill that up is about £100. It cost me £101. If I fill up, well, I worked it out on Thursday when diesel was 165 a litre. This is Saturday now, so there's only 2 days in between. On Thursday I worked it out. If and when I go to fill that thing up again, it'll cost me £14 more on the tank. So like that, yeah. And just while that's off the road, while I get the injectors done, this needs to go. But that's all secure. You know, I use the spanner on the good bits of the nut, so it's secure. And I tried with the pliers. It's fine. It's good. It's good. So I just need to clean it up a little bit more, and then fit it back on the car, which I might actually record for a change because I haven't recorded anything on the car today. I need to just put there's like a little knot that goes in the back of there, like a 10mm knot, as I said. But as you can see, the line is perfectly in now. Like, you know, tied in there. It's all tight. Should be all good to go. Worth noting as well. Did that on the bench. Tried to work out how the pipe fitted onto that, because obviously you don't want the pipe all to cock when you come to this point, because it was only ever going to be tight on the bench. I just kept it in a straight vertical line with the bleed nipple, as you can see. So made sure that when I was tightening all this, that connected to the pipe, and the little down bit there was horizontal with the nipple, and it worked. Yeah, little plastic clip there that didn't break somehow. I don't know how they usually tend to break. So now that leaves me with a fairly empty cylinder. I need to I think I'll clean this all again. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but yeah, just want to clean that again. Or can I be bothered? No, I'll clean it. I'll just spray brake cleaner on it at least. Then try and work out how, from 3 weeks ago, how the frigging brake shoes go on. And then this side's done. Other than obvious that I've got to bleed the system. I'm going to leave that for the moment. Don't know why, just am. I think I'll leave it until I go to the other side and do that. But yeah, just going to put that nut in off camera now. So here we are. For the most part, I think. Yeah. It's all on. This is such a fucking horrible job. Genuine. I think welding upside down is a nicer job than doing this, to be honest. Springs are a pain in the arse to fit across, especially when you have to keep the handbrake adjuster thingamajig in place, so it keeps flying off. And then once you get it on, you have to push these bloody springs in. And the thing is, though, I had to admit defeat, and I couldn't use these ones because they're still the new ones are too tight. So it's the old springs, the old cap, but the new pin. And then that was the final bit, so I'd work down along from the top to the bottom. So I put them in, then that, then these,
and tried to do that. I couldn't do that, so I had to take that one off, flip the shoe that way without it pinging off. Then I could hook it on and sort of pushed it back and tried to push it as much as I could to get the cap in, but that's all in now. So that's done. I need to now go over the other side. Oh, no, actually, I'll tell you what I need to do. Right. Let's just do this right if I want to do it at all. Last bit of cleaning. Rust. Right. Sure, there's an extra step of me. Tell you what I have done. I need to line it up properly, don't I? I'm gonna have to do that off camera because I've only got one hand. Well, I've got two hands, but one's holding the camera. So there we go. Torx thingy's back on. Moving a lot more freer than it was. Do the other side now. Which I'll do off camera because what else there to see is just the same as that, I hope. I'll tell you if I do the cylinder. Probably will do the cylinder, to be fair. So yeah, so the next thing you see, other than me coming back and saying something's gone wrong, will be me bleeding brakes, I think. Well, everything's back together, but I've got to be ahead of myself. Like, you could have a lot of fun with that, but that's not for me. I've got to take the plastic. I can't even bloody see it. Receipts. I really need to clean this. I need to take that plastic thing off, and there's a ratchet thing behind it, but I need to jack the car up before I do that. When is a Peugeot not a Peugeot? When it uses the same bolts that Toyota. Oh. When they use the same bolts of cheese as Toyota do. So right there and right there. Fucking hell. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to carry on adjusting the handbrake because that's the most important thing, and I will get back to drilling them out at a later date. But apparently that's the bit I haven't done. I need to just adjust the handbrake there, and then it'll be all good. So there's the handbrake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be whatever. If we go to the side that you saw me work on, job done. Side that you didn't see me work on, and I think the wire the cables there tell their own story, don't they? So I need to take that wheel off again, see what's going on. No leaks. The culprit is there. There's a stick. Right. The culprit is there. Or more specifically, there. See, that bit ought to be there. So, and obviously I think the brakes are working a little bit, so I've already moved it back and forth a little bit just to make sure it's working. So yeah, I need to figure out how to put that back in without taking the whole thing apart. I think I just want to push it and we'll take this off. But yeah, I'll do that off camera because just want it done. I'm going public with this now. I'm not doing brakes again. Oh, it's pain. Oh, sorry, pressing on the phone. It's such a pain. Really is. I don't mind complicated jobs. I hate fiddly jobs, and this is a fiddly job. And friggin' springs and doohickeys and everything like that. But it's in now. Thingy bob's there, where it ought to be. Double checking. We're all good. So I'm going to put the hub on now and or the drum, sorry, and test the brake again. Oh, it won't move. Yeah, so that was all it was. The handbrake adjuster slipped, so now the handbrake is at a normal angle, and it's very mucky in here, so I'm not going to do anything now for today because drilling those holes isn't an MOT issue. So put it down, test drive it. Yeah, just up and down the driveway be alright a few times, and then get the MOT booked in. So hopefully next clip at least will be me driving this at least. Well, I hope anyway. Well then. Right. Yeah. Fail. Yeah. Registration plate lamp does not illuminate. I mean, hopefully they changed it. And that was all that was wrong. It's windy. There you go. Oh, good. So that's that. It has an MOT. Yeah, done quite well. It's a shame that it's got its first fail, but you know what, it's grand. The next bit is, I'll show you actually. I hope that I just clicked off the camera by accident. So in there, well, you can see. No, you can't really. I'll try and do something in the video, but basically I took the catalytic converter out there. There we are. Because it tends to crack just under that silver plate. So underneath here there's a join, and it tends to crack because right down there, just where my finger's pointing, the that bracket right there, the one originally wasn't on that engine, came from the factory like that, so there was a lot of movement from the engine moving and everything, so the pipe starts to crack, or the catalytic converter starts to crack, and then it just sounds horrible. I took that off, did my first little bit of welding on it. It was only stick welding. I did a horrible job, but enough to put it together. The only problem is I then broke the manifold nut, which is where's the finger? Well, there we are, right there. The bolt broke off, so the stud, that one was a stud that goes into the engine block, that broke, and yeah, so I've been driving around, as you can see, with loads of soot pouring out of it. It also means that I have to put on the interior, open the window and stop air coming in, because I'd poison myself otherwise. So that's the next job. But as I said in another video last year, the wife went asked about it on the roundabout, and did that. And there's plastic brackets that hold the bumper in place. That one's broken. The other side will break as soon as I take the bumper off, so I need to order some of them on eBay and then put them through the service. Other than that, he's good to go for a trip. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, like it. If you haven't enjoyed it, oh well, it's free, and I will see you again. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you hopefully in the future.